Wow. I love the intellectual, like truly smart people that chime on LinkedIn. And if you're one of those people that regularly chimes in, thank you. It means the world to me because I don't want this being one-sided. So thank you for great conversations. I got a question sent to me and I'm just going to read it because it is absolutely epic. So here's what the sales rep says. Customers are stating the rates are too high and discounting my rates hurts my pay. So I don't want to discount. Every one of the major rental companies in my area, in my region, uses Rouse. And the companies that don't use Rouse are undercutting everybody by so much that we can't compete. How do you sell in this type of market? Bam! Wow. That is a huge video. That's not something I cover in the 5 minutes I'm allotted by LinkedIn. So I'm going to give you the short and I'm going to give you the narrow. Yes, the market right now with everybody kind of getting an average in the market by Rouse, it helps and it hurts the market. It helps the market because rental companies kind of get an understanding of what the rates are and what some of the major companies that report are getting. Not everybody reports, and that there are some smaller companies that aren't getting the best rates. So there's benefits to both sides of this with using Rouse and not using Rouse. I think, in my humble opinion, it should be a guide. And what I mean by a guide is that some of the rates, you should be able to run your own business. I truly believe Rouse is a phenomenal resource, but don't hedge all of your bets and say, this is the Bible. Because I'm going to tell you right now that if I know that the prices of apples are $1 an apple, and that's what everybody's getting, and I look out in my rental yard and I say, I got 10,000 apples sitting out there. You don't need to look at Rouse for that you should be charging $1 an apple. What you should look at is, what is your utilization? If the unit is sitting in your yard and you're not putting it on rent, what does that cost your organization? And the biggest thing I would look at is, as the market changes, the benefits of Rouse is that they get a number of what other people are putting it out at. But the thing is you're still an individual organization. If you go out and look in your yard, your owner or your management team or whatever may be looking at Rouse to set rates. But I think one of the most important thing is utilization. I think there should be flexibility in rates and flexibility in how that affects sales reps' pay, depending on what is the utilization. If you've got 40 forklifts sitting in your yard and you're getting, no one can go below bench on Rouse, and you're just not getting the business, then your individual market needs to look at making changes. And I don't know, I get it. A lot of companies pay according to Rouse and they use that as the benchmark. I think that organizations, in my humble opinion, should also look at utilization and maybe give incentives. You can pay reps according to Rouse, but if I've got 15 mini excavators that are sitting out there in the yard and they're not moving, I need to make sure that I tell reps, I will not ding your pay if you get those underutilized units out on rent. If you put those underutilized units out on rent, I'll pay you the flat 3 or 4% that you would make if you were getting bench. So that's kind of the big one for that. I realize a lot of sales reps out there, I ran into markets where there was 2 or 3 big players and the price differences were massive. And I don't blame the people that use Rouse. I don't blame the companies that don't use Rouse. I think I've watched where I went into a market and we walked into the job trailer and the sales rep put out his 60-foot boom for $2,800. And he thought that was a pretty good rate. And the customer said, heck no, I'm getting one right now for $1,600. Whoa, for a 60-foot boom. And obviously, the price was hugely, vastly different. Well, maybe there needs to be some flexibility there, but also is the sales rep chasing the right customer? If they're getting $1,600, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody loses on that deal. And the person that put it out for $1,600, here's the thing. I know what it costs to buy that asset. They still have interest rates. They still have all of that stuff. And the company, in all actuality, if you look at the longevity of the fleet and what it costs them to pay it off and average utilization, they're actually losing money at $1,600, and it's still a business. So sometimes the people don't look at the full cost of ownership. And I think that every good rental house should have a discussion with their sales reps of what do the assets cost if they're not being utilized, and what is our average rate, and why do we do the rates that we do? Right now, I think rates will continue to go up a little bit, even though utilization has balanced. And I think the reason why the rates will go up is because interest rates went up. And if the cost to buy the units increased because of interest, it's going to come back on our customers. And I think everyone's going to see that. Will it be as hyper inflated as it was in 2021 and 2022? I don't think so. But if I were you, I would make sure that as a company, you look at utilization as much as you look at Rouse for determining what your rate should be. Make sure that you are getting the money, but if the market starts getting a little too competitive and you start seeing your fleet sitting, you might want to look at incentivizing your sales reps to keep utilization high and find that sweet spot. Is it hard to do? Absolutely. But I believe you can do it. I appreciate you watching. It's a big topic. I'm already 7 minutes. I apologize. Y'all have an amazing day.